Kwaziwayi vanhu veZimbabwe, salibonani abantu veZimbabwe. Awusheni kunjani uTom? Marhaba bikum. Wassalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shalom alaikum. Velo yasu cheve mi Yehuda. Bonjour Zimbabwe. Et comment allez-vous? Hello folks, and how are you? My name is Gastaff Kativu, electronic engineer and specialist in aviation, oil and gas, and telecommunications. I'm 46 years old, returning expatriate, previously domiciled in the Middle East and Asia from 2007 to 2016, now permanently in Zimbabwe and leading the CKD Campaign, which is a non-political party citizen movement pushing for a life in Zimbabwe, and I'll be standing as presidential candidate in 2018 presidential election and campaigning on the Zimbabwe Industrial Evolution, which is a book on Amazon.com/dp/1530753511 entitled The CKD Campaign, Leadership After Robert Mugabe, the Zimbabwe Industrial Evolution. Education policy. Quality education in Zimbabwe and the world over has been commercialized by the rich and middle class, and only a few people can afford high-performance private or mission schools, which demand high school fees on admission, to which the average child has no access. The rich and middle class have built schools and not factories to make money. School fees is now the tradable merchandise. One class model in school fees. The education system for secondary school will be changed to one class model administered by only 50 teachers per subject to teach the whole country via satellite television, and the cost of boarding fees will be $250 per term. Consumer price index basket computation by CKD Campaign school supplies procurement specialist. While secondary school day fees will be $15 per term and primary school fees will be $5 per term. And not the thousands of dollars that parents are required to pay. Boarding fees in excess of $250 per term shall be taxed. The new government will also appoint 50 teachers or specialists in education per each primary school subject to lead teaching nationally by providing notes and methodology to be followed by schools nationally instead of individual scheming by each teacher, and all pupils will be at the same academic level on daily basis, and in case of a pupil transferring to another school, there will not be a loss or inconvenience to the pupil. Grade 7 O-level and ordinary level examinations will be weighted on the basis of coursework 40% and final examination 60%. The ZANU-PF government has changed the curriculum after the CKD campaign document and have copied a number of issues. National School Study Timetable. The new government will make a standard supervised study timetable for both boarding and day school students. Session 1, 7:30 to 19:30. Session 2, 19:45 to 21:45. And these study times will be supervised by father, mother, and guardian, with everyone working as a team to achieve 100% O and A-level pass rate as a new government target. The father will have to skip bar when on study supervision duty, and there will be no students found loitering outside the study area, nor will any student go to the market to sell merchandise, for school fees will be very affordable. Municipal and national police will be authorized to deal with errant students found loitering. Holiday lessons will be outlawed because teachers are deliberately failing to complete the syllabi on time so as to milk desperate parents and students. Any teacher caught in violation of that law will be required to pay school fees for all the students he invoiced for holiday lessons. Learning science will start in kindergarten, introducing the electric motor as a source of drive in toys, which feeds on batteries and not porridge. Abolishment of headmaster post in Zimbabwe schools. The headmaster wields too much power and oversight over school administration and finance. He is the school executive, judge, jury, legislator, and treasurer, and that has resulted in serious corruption, which is prejudiced parents, students, and teachers. In that regard, all school heads will be dismissed and replaced by a 12-member school head committee consisting of 6 senior teachers and 6 average parents. And in order to approve any decision or development, all members of the school head committee must agree. The current school head is stealing school fees from even orphans, increasing school fees arbitrarily and awarding new student vacancies on corrupt basis, and must be stopped. The headmaster or headmistress is the most corrupt job position in the country. The school heads are charging $100 per term hostel fee when the hostel has a 100-year life and is nowhere near replacement, or charging $50 per term desk fee when a desk has a lifespan of 10 to 20 years and costs $50, which at the end of 6 years at school, a student will purchase 18 desks, or charging $50 for book fee per term when school textbooks have a lifespan of 5 to 10 years. And this is the extent of headmaster fraud. School fees cannot be a multiple of consumer price index basket of 5 members. Parents are selling vegetables, peanut butter, and other merchandise just to save $2 a day for school fees, only to be swallowed by the school head empty of mercy and compassion. The headmaster is a demon that is feeding on the meager earnings of orphans and widows who are struggling for education, and the new leader will exorcise Zimbabwe of that evil spirit. Headmaster fraud in school trips. A school trip to the Great Zimbabwe will cost a pupil between $300 to $400. Yet bus fare to the Great Zimbabwe is about $8 from any corner of Zimbabwe, which gives a total bus fare of about $16. Overnight lodging at Great Zimbabwe camp is $5 per student per night, which gives a lodging bill of about $15 per 3-day stay. Food is $3 per day, with a total food bill of $9 per trip, with a grand total of $40 per trip. But school heads are charging between $300 to $400 per student, and orphans can easily afford $40 fee to go to the Great Zimbabwe if headmasters were not criminals. Students will be taught to clean their schools, toilets, grounds, and hostels. No need to hire groundsmen. Boarding master and boarding mistress will be paid by government, and about 3 or 4 teachers will be assisted by the school to have a class 1 or class 2 driver's license, or schools can just hire buses when the need arises. School uniform supplies. Due to high cost of school uniform by school uniform cartels connected to the school head, the new government will provide fashion and design equipment to the fashion and fabric classes to manufacture all the school uniform that the school requires, with a small profit to replace or repair equipment. International clothing brands are costing less than Zimbabwe school uniform. African culture with emphasis on Ubuntu will be taught as a subject in secondary and primary school, in collaboration with Zimbabwe Council of Chiefs. African culture curriculum will include African identity, ethics, taboos, etiquette, dress, music, dance, games, among other requirements. Traditional attire will be allowed as school uniform, and hair lock or dread will be permissible in schools, and students will not be compelled to comb their hair so that it looks Caucasian, because African hair is kinky and curly by nature, and that is not criminal but who we are. Religious tolerance at school. All schools will not have a religious bias, but neutral. And baptism certificates will not be demanded at enrollment, and students will attend church voluntarily and not by school requirement, mindful of the fact that religion or spirituality is a voluntary activity, unless if we are back to the Middle Ages, where people used to be hanged for other beliefs. Moreover, children come to school from different spiritual backgrounds. African language will be medium of instruction at school, and free education at any school of choice to all orphans with both mother and father deceased. A passing African language shall be a requirement and not English. Private schools will be audited to see how much of the school fees go into Prados for school owners, because the new leader saw school fees buying diamond cutting equipment belonging to the school owner, which had nothing to do with school business. Private school owners will be required to provide the government with information on the capital they invested in the school from the start, and if the capital is less than school development levies paid by parents over the years, then the school, by equity laws, will be owned by parents and teachers. Full stop. STEM. It is a vain understanding of Zimbabwe job problems by a political scientist with no clue on how to solve those problems. Zimbabwe has no shortage of engineers or any other specialists required for industrialization, because a bulk of them have migrated to the diaspora to perform menial work. Zimbabwe skilled personnel require the right environment in Zimbabwe to stay and rebuild the great Zimbabwe. STEM graduates will continue to leave the country as long as Zimbabwe does not provide the right environment for them to work in Zimbabwe. And the efforts by government to try to link STEM with high-end skills for industrialization is forgetting that Zimbabwe already has high-end skills which are making aircrafts at Airbus or Boeing, who only need the correct environment to stay in Zimbabwe and start making aircrafts at Zindege Corporation and not Airbus or Boeing. The enrollments for O and A level will be equal because no people will fail ordinary level, which is more difficult to fail than pass. Citizens understand that ZIMSEC exams are more difficult than other international examinations because there is a collusion between government and ZIMSEC to fail students deliberately, so that when they look for jobs on the jobless market, the blame will be put on the job seeker. Oh, you have no qualifications, my friend. You have grades D in maths and science, and even if there is no job at all on the market, withholding school results by school authorities for non-payment of fees shall be an offense. The child must not pay for the failures of the parent. All teachers made redundant by the one-class model will be absorbed by the Zimbabwe industrial evolution as HR personnel, accountants, business analysts, among other industrial trades which depend on their previous roles in education. University education, industrial patterns to develop universities. The new government will sponsor research that will design projects in collaboration with universities and technical colleges in Zimbabwe. And the patents thereof will be owned by the government and tertiary institutions to help small enterprises offload the burden of research. And universities will earn money for university development. Patent ownership by Zimbabwean universities will make the universities more strategic and autonomous with very serious international ratings. And the enterprises that will manufacture goods based on a particular university patent will be levied a small fee for the patent owner. Working in collaboration with manufacturers will make Zimbabwean universities as competent and competitive as any other top-ranked universities like Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Harvard, Cambridge, among others, and students from all corners of the world will come to learn in Zimbabwe universities. Zimbabwe engineering undergraduates will be required to make an improvement to any Zimbabwe industrial evolution technology as a continuous improvement strategy to keep Zimbabwe products always top of the range, without which the students will not graduate. Zimbabwe universities will be equipped with skilled instructors, researchers, new departments, and equipment to enable them to handle the demands of the Zimbabwe industrial evolution. As examples, National University of Science and Technology will be equipped with the Aerospace Engineering Department, with full facilities to research on the aerospace, plus an aerospace testing facility with a control and command center at Tony Hill Air Base in Gweru. And the University of Zimbabwe will be equipped with the Department of Aviation and Aircraft Engineering with full facilities to research on the airplane, plus a testing facility at any of Zimbabwe international airports. Technical college in Zimbabwe will be upgraded to universities to coexist with the existing polytechnics to become universities of Harare, Gweru, Kwekwe, Bulawayo, Masvingo, Mutare, Kubatana, Masasa, Mining, Kushinga, Pikelela, Mfure, Westgate, Chibero, Gwevi, Rio Tindo, Mlezi, Esgodini, Forestry, Harare Institute of Technology, and will be equipped with all the necessary tools, infrastructures, and resources to be able to achieve the CKD campaign set objectives. Manufacturing internship. The new government will avail the services of manufacturing specialists in collaboration with National Institute of Science and Technology, Department of Industrial and Manufacturing Engineering, to help most new manufacturing companies to fabricate the goods from patent through various processes to the final products that Zimbabwe needs, like demonstrating what equipment and material are required to make a drilling machine, a lathe machine, a screwdriver, a drive belt, toy, and how to load a uwe nyaramwana tula mkwanami onto a toy, an electric motor, among many goods required for the Zimbabwe industrial evolution. University grants. The new government will provide university grants to all students, including foreign students, but orphans with both deceased parents will not repay their grants after graduation. If you like the CKD campaign and share its objectives and philosophy, information on donations and banking details are available on website sites.google.com/site/CKD campaign. With the level of suffering that the citizens are enduring, record unemployment, corruption, nepotism, no homes, no money, pothole roads, dirty water, uncollected garbage, busted sewer pipes, among other problems, delivered to the citizens by ZANU-PF and the opposition as the collective vote, it would be a disaster if citizens were to vote for the existing polity and not themselves in 2018 election. They would have sold themselves into political slavery. 2018 election will be a citizen redemption election from political abuse. Oh, politicians, yes, they rob I, and so die to the depth of poverty minutes after I vote them into political power. And are you satisfied with the life you are living? I am not. And remember, for the sake of the great Zimbabwe, I will not rest until normalcy is restored. Ndatenda, ngiyabonga, ndangenza, shukran lakum, toda raba, merci beaucoup. I thank you.